I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys here. My experience on board airlines in the United States has not been incredible. To be fair though, most of my traveling was done on low-cost carriers such as Spirit and Frontier Airlines. Having said that, I did have a flight on United Airlines, and honestly, I found no compelling reason to fly United over the low-cost carriers. Now, once again, to be fair, my flight with United was only a quick 45-minute flight, so maybe I didn't get the full experience on board. Now, in order to get an idea of what airlines in the US truly have to offer, I booked myself on a 4-leg journey. This video will journal the first leg of that journey.
Alright, so my flight today starts in Los Angeles, California, and takes me all the way till Austin, Texas. The total flight time is 2 hours and 50 minutes, and the total distance traveled is 1,226 miles, or 1,972 kilometers.
For the first leg of this trip, I'll be on board Delta Airlines, which is one of the most consistently top-rated airlines in the United States. Most of what I hear about this airline is on the positive side, except for that one review by Vicarious Voyager, who hated his experience on board. I'm excited for this trip, not only because I get to fly on an airline that gets a lot of love, but also because we'll be landing in Austin, Texas, the live music capital of the world. As someone who's been doing music production professionally for over a decade, I'm excited to check out the Austin Airport, an airport that features live music performances inside the terminal. All right, enough hype. Let's get to it.
Hey guys, really quick, before we head to the airport, I have a quick update for you. So I have 14 hours left before the flight to Austin, and I got this email from Delta earlier today. Here, let me just show it to you. I got an email here saying time to check in, nothing out of the ordinary here. Most airlines do send a check-in reminder 24 hours before the flight, and what I do like about this though is once you scroll down, it tells you what terminal they're going to be operating from. So I'm sure you guys can relate to this situation here. I've had times previously where I've had to find out all that information about what terminal an airline is operating from on Google, hoping that the information is right and that I'm going to the right terminal. Now, having this information in an email from Delta Airlines themselves, telling you what terminal they're operating from the airport that you're about to leave, big thumbs up. That's awesome. That's awesome. Cool, so I'm at the airport here, and this time around I decided to do the check-in at the airport instead of the online check-in, just so I can get an experience for what the check-in process is like with Delta. Alright, checking into the flight today was fairly simple and was done through these self-serve kiosks. You can use a variety of different methods to load up your booking information and check in. I decided to check in using the confirmation number that was emailed to me during the booking process. Once your reservation is loaded up, you can check in and print out your boarding pass. What's up guys? So, made it to the airport here. Still super early in the morning. I've done the check-in as well. And yeah, let's make our way to the gates. As I made my way to the gates, I wanted to mention how easy and streamlined this check-in process was. Even though the airport seemed pretty busy, there were plenty of kiosks available and there was no long line just to check in. For passengers who may not be as tech-savvy, there were plenty of agents standing around waiting to help out if needed. Fortunately, the lines at security were pretty short as well, and I was able to make my way through in a couple of minutes.
What's up guys? So just made it past security and found the gate that I'm going to be boarding from. A lot of people seem to dislike this airport, LAX, a lot. So since I have plenty of time to kill still, I thought why not we play a little game. A little game that I call Airport or Scareport. Let's go.
Alright, so we're here at the Delta Terminal at LAX, Terminal 3. There is plenty of seating available, and also along with seating, there are plenty of power outlets available where you can charge your electronic devices. Alright, so having plenty of seating is very important, but also equally important is having a bunch of power outlets where you can charge your stuff without having to wait for others to finish charging their stuff. So, boom. +1 airport. The next thing that caught my attention was this gaming lounge. It's essentially a gaming cafe where passengers can go in and play video games as they wait for their flight. The lounge featured a variety of different consoles and games. At the time that I visited, the price to access this lounge was $15 for half an hour or $25 for a full hour. This included a complimentary snack and a beverage. I was also told that if you're a Priority Pass member, you can access this lounge through your Priority Pass membership. I'm not a gamer myself, but having said that, this is a cool idea for a lounge. So, boom, +1 airport. There was a hydration area where you can get drinking water, and an area where pets can go relieve themselves. Everybody poops, so do dogs. Boom, +1 airport. There was a women's bathroom, which is pretty standard. Most airports have this. And instead of a men's bathroom, there was an all-gender bathroom. Hey, wait a second. Why is there a separate bathroom for pets, but not men? Boom, +1 Scareport. There was a standard airport shop where you could purchase different types of snacks, souvenirs, and smaller electronic items. There was this other shop that I wanted to mention. So instead of having an actual counter where you pay with cash, you just enter with your credit card and just grab things off the shelf and it automatically charges your card, which was a pretty cool concept. Alright, cool. So shops at airport in 2023, not a revolutionary concept, but having a 24-hour store where you can just buy stuff from during an overnight layover, that's awesome. Boom, +1 airport. There was one restaurant at the terminal, a bakery, and also a Jamba Juice store. Not a whole lot of options, but at least there's something. Although, having said that, if you do happen to have a long layover at this airport, then you're kind of stuck on options. So this one will go to... Boom, Scareport, +1. There was also a bar that served alcohol. Bars at airports. Boom, +1 Scareport. I don't want any drunk people annoying me during the flight. There were some decent views of the airside. If you like planes or you're a plane spotter, you could get some decent views of the planes coming in and going out. Watching planes take off and land is fun. Boom, +1 airport. There was also this trash can with lights on it. This has absolutely nothing to do with the passenger experience at all, but it looked cool with the green light and I thought I would film it. Alright, moving on. There was Wi-Fi available throughout the terminal as well. There were 3 options to choose from: a free service, a monthly pass, or a day pass. The free Wi-Fi did not have any time restrictions on it, but I'm guessing that it was just at a slower speed than the paid one. It was fairly easy to access. There was no need to enter your phone number or email or anything. You just had to sit through and watch an ad, and it would connect you to the internet. The download speeds weren't bad. They were pretty respectable for a free airport Wi-Fi service. What did surprise me was the incredible upload speed. If you work on the go, or are a digital nomad and need to upload big files while you're on the go, you will definitely find these upload speeds helpful. Public Wi-Fi that works. Boom, +1 airport. Also, there was this coffee shop with a "But First" coffee sign. Coffee sucks, and so does the slogan, "But first coffee." Boom, +1 Scareport. Finally, there were promises of a better tomorrow. Promises of a better tomorrow means we can never enjoy today for what it is. Boom, +1 Scareport. Alright, so our total tally comes out to 6 for airport and 5 for Scareport, which makes Terminal 3 at LAX officially an airport. In all seriousness though, Terminal 3 at LAX is not too bad. The only thing that I would say is that if you end up having to be at this airport for longer than 3 hours, then it definitely will get pretty boring, so just keep that in mind. Anyways, now that we're done with airport or Scareport, let's move on to boarding. Cool, so boarding was pretty straightforward. All the boarding zones or boarding groups were called one by one, and everything was done in an orderly manner. Boarding also started exactly on time. The scheduled boarding time was 8 a.m. and the boarding gate opened at 7:59 a.m.
Alright guys, onto the plane now. Let's go.
As I made my way on board, the first thing that stood out to me is how modern and sleek the cabin looked with the LED accents on the overhead panels. The seats looked fairly comfortable as well. I eventually made my way to my seat 25F. Alright, so the seat was pretty comfortable and there was a decent amount of legroom. I had a pretty big bag tucked under the seat in front of me, but I still had enough room for my legs. In the seat back pocket, there was the safety information card and this flyer explaining how to connect to the free Wi-Fi. And there was a barf bag. The cabin looked sleek and clean. The blue LED lighting on top was just enough to give it that nice modern feel. Considering that this was an under 3-hour flight, I was surprised that there was an entertainment system. The reason I say I was surprised about having an IFE system on board is because American and United didn't offer IFE systems on board their shorter flights. There was a headphones jack to which you can connect regular headphones and also a USB jack. There was also a universal power outlet under every seat. Quick heads up here. The USB port wasn't able to charge any of the devices that I had on me. The power switch, however, did work. The seats also featured a standard tray. And, well, it's a tray. There's only so much I can say about it. On the panel up top, there were individual AC vents and reading lights. I'm not gonna lie, this is probably one of the fancier looking panels I've seen on board an aircraft. Before takeoff, the cabin crew came by and handed everyone earplugs. Also, it seemed that in my seat specifically, in the side of the seat, they had included a free pen. And since I didn't plan on doing any writing, I just kind of put it back there. As we were waiting to taxi out to the runway, I thought I would give you a quick rundown of the IFE system. The screen was pretty responsive, and the user interface was very modern and organized. There were tons of movies and TV shows available on demand. There was a decent selection of old and new movies and TV shows. There was also live TV on board, and what I found cool was there were also playlists that you could stream from Spotify. Then there was this flight information section that had details of the flight that we were on. This plane was an Airbus A320 with a total capacity of 157 passengers. There was also a flight tracker where you could get all the information of the day's journey. There were a couple of different views to choose from, which had cool information. Unfortunately though, there were no front, top, or bottom cameras on board this flight. Eventually, the safety video was played and we taxied our way onto the runway. As we made our way into the skies above California, we were treated to some incredible views as usual. It had been raining heavily for the week before I took this flight in Los Angeles, but fortunately on the day of the flight, we had beautiful clear skies. We then climbed to our cruising altitude and the snack service began. Passengers were offered a variety of different snacks and a few soft drinks and juices to choose from. On this flight, I opted for the sun chips and almonds and a glass of water. Alright, so after having snacks, it was time to check out the in-flight Wi-Fi. There was free Wi-Fi available on board, but in order to access it, you would need a Delta SkyMiles account. If you don't have one already, signing up for a Delta SkyMiles account is completely free of charge, and all it requires is an email account. Once you log into your account, you can access the onboard Wi-Fi and extra streaming content available on their website. Alright, now with that sorted, it was finally time for me to go to the bathroom with a camera and videotape it.
Why are you the way that you are?
Man, this bathroom felt pretty small and narrow, to be honest. As far as amenities go, there was soap. The sink was pretty small, just about big enough to wash your hands. There was also the sign that said you should go sit in your seat and stare at your armpits. What I did like about the bathroom though is that there were coat hooks, something I haven't seen too often in flight bathrooms. Eventually, we made our way into the skies above a cloudy Austin. As we prepared for landing, I had some time to reflect on my experience with Delta. As far as the hard product goes, the seats were incredibly comfortable, there was a good amount of legroom, and the inclusion of an IFE system was definitely much appreciated. The smaller things, such as emails with detailed information, were also a big plus. It seems that Delta also ensures to keep their branding very aesthetically pleasing, which is very evident by the way the terminal and the cabin looks. Now, moving to the soft product, or the service on board and at airports, the people working on board were incredibly professional. They were super friendly, but having said that, the service was not super warm and personal, such as on board Asian and Middle Eastern airlines. Now, if you're someone who loves to travel in comfort and aren't too concerned about spending a little extra for it, then Delta is the perfect airlines for you. After having completed this journey on board all the major airlines in the United States, I can safely say this, that Delta has one of the best, if not the best, onboard experiences when it comes to seating. The seats were incredibly comfortable, and the IFE system is what you would expect from a major airlines. Although the service wasn't incredibly warm or personal, it was still very professional and on point. I paid about $110 for this flight, and the price included seat selection, a personal item, and a carry-on. Keeping in mind that a low-cost carrier would cost $65 for the same flight, this is actually not a bad value at all. I'd like to know what you guys think about Delta Airlines. Have your experiences been similar to mine? Or have they been the exact opposite? Would you recommend them to someone? Let me know down in the comments below. Alright guys, I hope you guys found this video either helpful or entertaining, and I'll see you on the next one.